King Proca occupies an important place in the legendary origins of Rome as one of the kings of Alba Longa and as an ancestor of Romulus and Remus. He belonged to the royal dynasty known as the Silvii, which traced its lineage back to the Trojan hero Aeneas. According to Roman tradition, after Aeneas arrived in Italy, his son Ascanius founded the city of Alba Longa, and a long line of kings ruled there for many generations. These rulers were collectively associated with the Silvian dynasty, and Proca was considered one of the last powerful kings in this long succession. During his reign, Alba Longa was still regarded as one of the most important cities of Latium, and as the ancient centre of the Latin peoples. According to Roman tradition, Proca was the son of Aventinus, a previous king of Alba Longa. The name Aventinus was later connected by Roman writers with the Aventine Hill in Rome. After the death of Aventinus, Proca succeeded to the throne of Alba Longa and ruled for many years. Ancient sources generally describe his reign as a peaceful period in which Alba Longa preserved its ancient prestige among the Latin communities. The reign of Proca is especially important because it belongs to the generation immediately before the legendary foundation of Rome. After his time, the history of the Alban kings becomes directly connected with the story of Rome's origins. The most important aspect of Proca's life was that he had two sons, Numitor and Amulius. These two brothers later played a central role in the legend of Rome's foundation. Before his death, Proca intended that the throne should pass to his elder son, Numitor, who was recognized as the rightful heir. However, the younger brother Amulius seized power by force. Amulius removed Numitor from the throne and became king of Alba Longa. In this way, a dynastic conflict began after the death of Proca. In Roman tradition, this struggle marks the beginning of the chain of events that would eventually lead to the founding of Rome. After taking power, Amulius attempted to destroy the family line of Numitor. He ordered the death of Numitor's sons and forced Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin. Since Vestal virgins were forbidden to marry or bear children, this was intended to prevent Numitor from having descendants. According to legend, however, the god Mars united with Rhea Silvia, and she gave birth to the twins Romulus and Remus. These children would later become the founders of Rome. For this reason, Proca is remembered as the great-grandfather of the founders of the city. In Roman tradition, the name of Proca represents the final period of stability, before the dynastic struggles that led to the birth of Rome. After his death, the conflicts within the royal house of Alba Longa created the conditions that eventually produced Romulus and Remus. Because of this, Proca is often seen as the last ruler of the earlier age that existed before the foundation of Rome. His reign symbolizes the final phase of the old Latin kingdoms, before the emergence of the new Roman state. Ancient sources do not provide many detailed descriptions of Proca's personality or achievements. Nevertheless, he is generally understood as a respected and legitimate ruler, whose authority was recognized in Alba Longa. Because his lineage led directly to the founders of Rome, Roman historians gave him an important place in their accounts. Writers such as Livy included Proca in the traditional lists of the Alban kings, presenting him as a key link in the ancestral line that connected Aeneas with Romulus. Proca is considered one of the most important representatives of the Silvian dynasty. This dynasty preserved the royal line believed to descend from Aeneas. The name Silvius may be derived from the Latin word silva, meaning forest, and it may reflect the wooded environment of the Alban hills where Alba Longa was located. Proca belongs to the later period of this dynasty, at a time when Alba Longa still maintained its ancient prestige, but was approaching the end of its independence. The events that followed Proca's death form one of the most dramatic sections of Roman legendary history, the overthrow of Numitor, the fate of Rhea Silvia, and the birth of Romulus and Remus all emerged from the conflicts within Proca's family. For this reason, Proca stands near the beginning of the story that leads directly to the founding of Rome. In Roman tradition, Proca was not only a king, but also one of the ancestors of the Roman people. Through his descendants, Romulus eventually founded the city of Rome and became its first king. Because of this connection, Proca occupies an important place in Rome's legendary past and in the genealogical traditions that linked Rome to the Trojan hero Aeneas. The story of Proca helps connect the Trojan origins of Rome with the Latin past of Italy. It illustrates how the lineage of Aeneas continued in Latium, from Ascanius to the kings of Alba Longa, and finally to Romulus. Proca stands as one of the most important links in this chain of descent. Proca was therefore remembered as one of the last great kings of Alba Longa before the rise of Rome. His reign belonged to the period immediately preceding the foundation of the city, and was given special importance in Roman tradition. For the Romans, Proca represented one of the ancestral rulers of the ancient world that existed before Rome, and an essential figure in the long story that led to the birth of the Roman state.